Hi, this is Cajun, and it's time for our weekly conference call. In terms of the global markets, it looks like everyone is waiting for the second shoe to drop. On the industry side, Amazon is making, and on the NLP dataset and NLU side of the industry, I should say that Amazon is making online machine learning courses available for free. And there are a few other large companies that are doing this and large institutions, and as you know, it's been kicked off by recent world events. On our industry side, if you look at Google Trends and you do a search for NLP, you'll see that there has been a steady increase in an interest in NLP, and we've been posting a few articles, as we usually do, related to current events in the world of NLP and NLU. And what we've noticed is another trend that relates to NLP being explained in detail to management and C-level types more often. And we know that's a good sign. On the crypto side, George Ball, the former CEO of Prudential Securities, said that crypto is a safe haven, or can be a safe haven. And that's something that we've said as well. We've used the term flight to safety, but that is happening right now as we're seeing BTC trade above 12K, and we're seeing ETH on its way to 500. And this is money that has been sitting on the sidelines coming back into crypto. Now, on the other side of the markets, on the traditional side, Warren Buffett dumps Goldman Sachs for gold, to take positions in gold. And Ray Dalio, Bridgewater, CEO of Bridgewater, world's largest hedge fund, goes for gold. You can look those headlines up using those keywords, but there have been other funds and institutions that have been moving into gold as well. And this is for, on average, a 10-year hold. And this also bodes very well for crypto, because gold is viewed as a safe haven, but not the only safe haven, as we know. On the engineering side, we are delivering the dataset toolkit in its components to various customers. We have an A to Z dataset toolkit that we have just about ready. We've honed the toolkit based on feedback we've gotten and from customers, and based on customer discovery related to paying customers, and customizations and everything else that goes along with that. And we're preparing for additional phases for the dataset toolkit and its distribution. And for those that don't know or that have not yet heard, the dataset toolkit is a way for a data engineer or a scientist or a C-level or an executive to be able to quickly browse to a location, see a visualization of a relationship network between pharmaceutical companies and drug compounds, or between drug compounds and other drug compounds, and understand that clusters can be derived or extracted from the data sets we provide. Valuable clusters that provide discoveries or enable discoveries and make money. On the corporate development side and business development side, we're getting about 2 to 3 signups a week on the trial tier. We're averaging about 2 to 3 signups a week. And that's without any marketing. And we're going to be turning on the marketing jets soon, but that's in relation to, as we always mention, being in parity with engineering. We've added a new revenue generating customer this week, and we'll go ahead and announce details on that depending on our confidentiality agreements with them. On the customers, partners, and collaborators side, it's steady as she goes. We usually talk about all the customers and partners we're collaborating with, or the revenue generating customers we're signing with, but they remain largely the same. We are throttling ourselves, with the exception of reaching out for a partnership with 23andMe and BlackRock's Ancestry.com and Thomson Reuters. And it's also important to keep in mind that many of our customers and partners today act as a bridge for the traditional markets, and that's on the financial market side, of course. And what we mean by bridge, we'll go over that a bit later, but that just means a way for traditional market traders to take positions in crypto for the first time. Right now, our time is divided differently between paying and non-paying customers. On the IR, PR, and Marcom side, we'll be rolling out a few PRs onto the launch pad. That's what we're doing now. We're just coordinating on timing and additional links and stories that we can beef the PRs up with for maximum bang for the buck. We're going to skip the dataset insight side to save some time. We'll touch on that next week. We can go straight to questions from the trader base. Our first question is, what's the state of datasets now in terms of marketability? Reading the summary of the last call, is it right to assume there's some time left before they are developed far enough to be fully marketed as a viable product? Well, there's a really short answer to that. We already have signed paying customers, aka revenue generating customers. So our products are in the hands of customers on the free trial tier and in the hands of paying customers. And that is proof in the pudding for you on that. Our next question is, how were each of the current list of customers brought on board? Via marketing efforts or other? Well, we have been executing on a soft release or soft rollout. And that is what it implies. It's slow and gentle, and it adapts to customer needs as or on a case-by-case basis. We've also chosen to introduce our data sets into specialized forums that we've been associated to for years as data scientists and engineers ourselves. And other data scientists and engineers in every industry visit these same forums. And as we engage, we receive feedback and expand our marketing strategy. This also includes customers that have been attracted to us based on the articles that have been produced by third-party sources and editorials. And of course, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So we're tracking all data points there as much as we can related to where customers come from and why and how. And the most important metric we track is whether or not they feel confident enough and good enough to recommend it to a friend of theirs. Our next question is there any plan in the future for staking? No, we have no plans for staking. Staking is a tool to reduce supply because many of these cryptos you see today have bloated floats or bloated circulating supplies. If you've got a true product, true demand, and true revenue combined with a reasonably sized circulating supply and cap table, then that's what's going to result in large upticks with sustained organic liquidity. The next question is, due to the rising cost of ETH gas, has the team considered moving away from an ERC20 to another chain or protocol such as BEP2? Well, we're not invested in BEP2. We'll go ahead and take a look at BEP2. But our primary reason for rolling out another chain, when we do, and we will at some point, would be to maximize our flexibility in our customized offerings related to data provenance and data lineage and tracking. Imagine all the changes that go into data, and imagine all the insecurity or lack of confidence that can happen when a change occurs in your data and you don't know why or where it came from or who made that change or for what reason, malicious or otherwise. So data provenance and data lineage is extremely important to us, and that's why we would roll our own chain. The secondary reasons would include things like a rising gas prices and so forth. And of course, for us, the ultimate factor in whether or not we roll our own chain really is to make sure that we fit into the grand scheme of things related to how the global markets are evolving, shaping up. And that would mean making sure that we can list our token on NASDAQ and any other of the world's major cryptocurrency and traditional market exchanges that offer listing services for cryptos and stocks. And our final question is, can you talk more about the traditional market bridge? Okay, we did just a bit earlier. There was a headline recently titled, "Hundreds of Thousands of Investors Just Gained Exposure to Bitcoin Thanks to MicroStrategy." That confirms our observation that we made last week related to MicroStrategy and the traditional market trader bases then being attracted to trade BTC. In last week's call, we talked about that, and there are links now related to that online that you can take a look at. Part of the creation of a bridge between the traditional markets and traditional market traders and investors to crypto traders and investors, or to becoming crypto traders and investors, means that, well, in order for us to construct that kind of bridge, we have to consider things you wouldn't expect, or maybe some of you would, like understanding the differences in crypto financial nomenclature or ontology and traditional market nomenclature or ontology. For example, in the traditional markets, you've got a float. In the crypto markets, you've got a circulating supply. That's just one of hundreds of examples. And then you've got cultural differences. You've also got frictionless trading that essentially happens in the traditional markets compared to the crypto markets. So understanding what a frictionless experience means in the traditional markets, you're going to have to make it the same in the crypto markets if you want to create analogs and create a seamless bridge that's easy to cross. And of course, one of the most powerful things you can do in forming a bridge between the traditional markets, traditional market traders, and the crypto space is to become trustworthy as a crypto. And the way to do that is to cut a deal with a public vehicle, cut a deal with a public company, and their public market traders, traditional public market traders, are going to have more confidence in you as a crypto than any other crypto. But of course, if it swells right, this is all about trading. But if you're tradable and you're moving in the right direction, and you've got a low float, low circulating supply, and you know how to uptick and sustain those levels, then yeah, you're going to be chosen over other cryptos if you've got a deal with a public company that trader's trading. That's just the bottom line. That's it for the questions on the exchanges side. We are going to introduce that section this week. There have been a change of plans related to our exchange strategy, and this just relates to us adapting to the timing and circumstances of the current market conditions. You can adjust to market conditions. If the market conditions are horrible, you pull your IPOs and you decide not to issue PRs and you remove retail trading tools and whatever. But when you've got good market conditions, you reintroduce trading tools and reintroduce your TA teams and reintroduce long side strategies. And you also do what we're going to do, and that is adapt to a good market. And when we say good market, we're talking about crypto markets. We are going to go ahead and we have reopened our dialogue with Kraken, and they have our legal opinion now. And we have decided to concurrently talk with them about our confidential communication and dialogue with S&P Global, with S&P Global's permission, and that would also include Bloomberg's Alternative Data Division and others. So this is going to enable us to talk about the distribution agreements we have in place and the distribution plans with their customers and so forth. Kraken just wants to know that we're the real deal, and that's what we're showing them. We'll also talk about our retail thematic smart baskets that increase order flow, trade executions, and liquidity. That might be something Kraken might be interested in. And we'll begin to concurrently reach out to top-tier exchanges in 3 weeks. Other exchanges. And finally, on the strategy side. So after uplisting to one of our large exchange targets, that's when we'll roll out our PR pipeline with a series of regularly released PRs. And that's really just proper IR, proper investor relations. We could be looking at 2 PRs a month on average, every 2 weeks. And maybe interim PRs, progress report PRs, related to our key performance metrics and so forth. On the strategy side, we'll also be maintaining a laser-like focus on increasing the value to our current paying customers. We'll also be executing on our traditional market bridge strategy, which we described earlier. And we'll be executing on our strategy related to a direct-to-consumer offering on the personalized medicine, precision medicine, and preventative medicine side. Those are 3 terms that we'd encourage everyone to look up: personalized medicine, precision medicine, and preventative medicine. We're producing data sets that will enable someone to change or re-engineer their diet so they can re-engineer a bit of their genome. We'll also have a continued focus on data sets for thematic smart basket generation on the retail and consumer side, retail trading side. Right now, we're just working on pricing in terms of the direct-to-consumer data sets on the health and life sciences side, and pricing on the retail side. This has been a pre-recorded call. If you have any questions, feel free to send them along online. Thanks for joining. Bye.